chat, Mr. Ian Coleman, which was one of my main guys. He says Stefanski and Gabriel mentioned learning from Watson. Go look at Stefanski interview. They are trying to attach him to Shedeur to attach the negativity. No pictures of the two together, and I think that's interesting because that's where we're kind of going to get into that. Ian already knows the path we're going to go ahead and walk down. Miss Pamela's in here, says anyone tired of the Three Stooges, Haslam, Barry, and Stefanski? They need to end this BS and just make a trade. It is, I think, a little concerning, Miss Pamela, and I think this is my first time I've seen you in chat. I appreciate you if it isn't. Thank you so much for supporting, but it is interesting, right? And I think that a lot of people would find it interesting and weird, their quarterback situation in the NFL, if they just had four quarterbacks. But we have to remember they have four quarterbacks and then another. You know what I'm saying? And that just makes everything, I think, twice as big and twice as crazy. And then Selmore Fudd, I mean, he's always in here, man. You know what I'm saying? He's got Dog Pine in the house. I know we got a lot of Browns fans. I am a Texans fan. Y'all know that. But I am a Shedeur and a Sanders fan in general. So today, as we accumulate, we got a pretty, should be a long stream today. A lot of things I want to talk about. Some things I still got to grab a few things for. Gotta put some things in places and also some spaces. But I know y'all love when we talk about Shedeur. So we are going to talk about Shedeur and Deshaun Watson because, like Ian said at the top, there has been some weird linkings to it. And interestingly enough, I think Mary Kay Cabot might be coming to Shedeur's defense, which, she don't do that much often. But we're going to go into detail there, learn more about Deshaun, about the breakdown there. And I'm going to grab those interviews that Ian said. Another one that I have, this is already ready, is a little trip down, HBCU memory lane for one Shedeur Sanders. I feel like the conversation gets so focused right on his collegiate career, but if you're going to focus on his collegiate career, why don't we focus on a very important part of it? Obviously, we got HBCU legends. We'll get into that. So that's going to be another part of the docket as well. I do eventually want to talk about this BYU player. This is a crazy little scenario. Also, Travis Hunter, the GM for the Jags, has gone up with Rich Eisen. Gave 8 minutes. I don't think we're going to listen to all 8 minutes, but he's going to go deeper into what he feels like, deeper into the the philosophy of trying to believe in this younger GM, Travis Hunter being an unprecedented type of player when I do something. So that's going to be interesting as well. What else we got? We also have, if I could ever do this video, I really want to do this video, talk about Travis Hunter. I want to do Jabril Peppers. I want to get into my evergreen bag, educate the youth on the two-way demon that plays 17 positions. Flow training. Hey, y'all seen that? Y'all seen that flow training stuff? That's hilarious. I do want to talk about, there is a new transfer portal update as well. And there's college football. I don't know how many of y'all, how long y'all been watching, but I originally started this channel making college football videos, the game videos, and we're kind of in the dead part of the season where there's not really much going on. So I might slip into some few college football 26 videos. I do want to say, if y'all thought, what's it called? Not Mayock. Mel Kiper was going crazy for Shedeur. I think Paul Feinbaum is going to do the same thing for Arch Manning. He just said that Arch Manning is the best college football quarterback that he has seen since Tim Tebow. And the man has not started more than 5 games. So that's interesting to see. So obviously we're going to start with Shedeur. I'm going to grab one more interview if I can find it. And then I'm going to let the chat kind of matriculate. And then also, chat, if you had any specific, opinions about what you wanted to see. Miss Pamela, to see you, Auntie. I love it. Orange Sir says salute. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all showing up and showing out. But yeah, if you have any opinions about what you want to see first, let me know while I grab this one little thing. And also let me know, how are we feeling today? Hey, are we having a good day? It's the middle of the summer. I'm actually about to go on a little vacation at the end of the week. So I know everybody else, y'all are, on road trips or taking breaks from work. So if you're taking your time, this beautiful, precious time during the summer to watch me yap I gotta say I thank you and I appreciate you. I really do. You know what I'm saying? You could be out there enjoying the beach. The beach. All right, so what I'm looking for right now is Dylan Gabriel as well as Kevin Stefanski talked about Deshaun Watson, but I cannot. I'm almost sure I have it actually. So I'm about to slap that on right here. Oh no, I have more stuff. There's more details about this. I'm finding out more stuff. Okay. Well, this is crazy. But yeah, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? And let me know what you're doing this summer, as well as any college football games you might plan on going to. I'm taking a peek at some right now. Right now, man. Okay. I think we can get right into it because I can't find that particular video of that one. I don't want to hold up the stream. How can I not find that? I'm gonna look one more place. One more place. I swear I know what you're talking about. It was during rookie minicamp that they were talking about it. And they were talking about the the room as a whole. Oh, boom. This is good, too. Okay, this is good. This is good because it'll give you a little context. There's been a lot of conversation about Deshaun Watson as of late. So, there's a whole lot going on. Why can I not? All right, we'll just do it. We'll do it live. Ultimate Cleveland Brown, Ultimate Cleveland. Okay. Yeah, I don't see nobody really going crazy about that one for real. All right, cool. Let's do it. We'll start right here. And it really it creates two questions. There's two questions that it creates really about if he's gonna start or not. Okay, cool. Would like to see you compile or short some clips of Sanders running with the football. You know that's a huge knock on him for some weird reason. Yeah, I can do that, but again, like you summed it up. It's a knock on him for a weird reason. It's not something that I think he's gonna be. I don't think his lack of athleticism is both overstated as well as I don't think I need to demonstrate it. But will I do that? Sure. I think I can do that for fun. And we can just talk about it. But I don't even think anybody cares about it. You notice people don't even talk about it. Like, I don't think that's – if you can just deliver the ball, you'll be fine. But good point, Mr. 3000. And I think it's a good idea as well. Going kayaking. Oh, in the morning. Morning kayaking. I like to hear it. I like to see it. But, let's start in – let's see if there is a deal with this Deshaun Watson situation. There could possibly be no deal. That could be a possibility. So you never, ever know. Let me get all up in here. Shut up. Let me pop it back like this. Do it like this. Pop it like that. Get out my way, dog. He's all up in my way, dog. You feel me? Golly gee. Deshaun Watson has officially taken the rookie quarterbacks under his wing. He's really getting nice and personal with them. He's taking them into a nice quiet closet and touching on them or something. Whatever Deshaun Watson likes to do apparently is happening. But we're getting conflicting reports. We have Mary Kay Cabot. Some people reporting that he is doing it. Some people are saying Mary Kay Cabot is saying that Deshaun Watson is going to start. It's all over the place. So today we're going to figure out what the dealio is with Deshaun Watson. So both talk about his playing time as well as this odd report that he has been doing some mentoring as he recovers from that Achilles injury. So if you enjoy football content of all shapes and sizes, you know we talk about Shedeur plenty, but we also talk about other football content. If you want to see that, link it up, lock in, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the bell icon not to miss anything else. And starting right with can he even play? Can this crazy man, can Mr. Watson, the person everybody just, assumes, maybe rightfully so, is a little too freaky. Will he even be able to play?
If the Browns make a quarterback change at the end of October and November and go from Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett to Deshaun Watson,
wow,
instead of Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel, I will pop both blood vessels in.
And this is an interesting conversation. I want to start the conversation here because we're not. And shout out to them. These are Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. They do a lot of good stuff, and they're a live show, real people talking to each other. So if you don't want to see a giant forehead in the screen and you want to see some people who are really passionate about what they do, this is Ultimate Cle Sports. They do a great job. YouTube, TikTok, check them out. They go deep into it. But I think that this is a great jumping point for the conversation of why this comment doesn't make sense. As you know, a lot of y'all watching have been, and just like me, obviously, because I've been the one, kind of being there, have been keeping up with what's happening with this quarterback battle. It seems like, for as much as we've, come in here and criticize maybe the Tony Grossi's, maybe the Mary Case, maybe the media at large for either overblowing, underblowing, maybe misrepresenting some things or trying to downplay certain things when it comes to the way that either Shedeur looks or just the rookies in general looks or how the quarterback battle shapes, not one person has brought up Deshaun Watson as like a possibility, right? So now that you start, everybody has the the projections. Hey, Shedeur is going to start here. The Dylan Gabriel is going to start here. Hey, when you get to week 5, if the team's not looking good, hey, boom, you go with your rookie. And I think that for as far-fetched as, and for the real reason why Deshaun Watson no one is considering him to start in the week 1, even though there's 4 other quarterbacks on this roster. That's crazy. Even though there are 4 other quarterbacks on this roster, it's interesting to look at the fact that, it's just not, what I'm saying? Like it's not even in the conversation of him starting. So now that it's starting to creep up, he will be healthy at that same mark that you're gonna want to theoretically bring in a rookie. Now, here's what I would say. A lot of these conversations have been about, Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, going ahead and taking the mantle for the Browns, whether it be late in the season, middle of the season, new fresh paint, right? I don't think that if they do bad, they go with Deshaun Watson. I think this is what happens. And this is, for all my Browns fans, I know this is going to be hard for you to envision, but just walk with me. If y'all go into week 5 and y'all are like, 4-1 or what, what I'm saying? Like y'all are got a nice winning record. And then Deshaun Watson he's healthy because now, some people are saying, oh my God, he's going to be healthy by the beginning of the season, blah, blah, blah. But obviously they're not going to, try to push him to do it. But theoretically, if he says he's going to be healthy by beginning of the season, you bet your top dollar, I'm sure he's going to be ready for game time by week 5, right? The scenario in which, if you're a fan of either of these rookie quarterbacks, the scenario in which that just never happens and they get the door shut, surprisingly, is if they play too good. If Joe Flizzy comes out there, or Kenny Pickett, whoever is going to be the number 1, if they come out there week 1 through 5, whatever the number is, week through 7, I'm just throwing a number out there, right? If they come out and the trajectory is like, oh, we killing shit right now, like I mean, we going crazy. I think then you should be more afraid that Deshaun Watson steps in. Hey, we got money invested in him. He's healthy. We can finally cut or trade. And again, that's that midweek. Hey, boom. Maybe we trade Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel or maybe we trade Kenny Pickett to, some team who just couldn't figure out their quarterback situation. It's crazy. That always happens. I feel like every single year, even in the NFL, it gets to a point where like there's a team that's just without a quarterback. Deshaun Watson. Look, we've already been, and I'm jumping ahead because we're gonna actually read this little thing in the excerpt. We have to remember, for as much as the conversation that we've been having on this channel specifically, it's been about Dylan versus Shedeur, Shedeur versus Joe, Shedeur versus Kenny, Kenny versus Dylan, Kenny versus Joe. Like it's been that and that's already crazy. That's already like too much. I cannot recall in all my years of watching football the last time there was a 4-man quarterback race. And I can't tell you now because this is a 5-man quarterback race. That's the crazy thing about this. Because as we just say, Deshaun Watson, it has a contract so big that the NFL openly admitted to colluding. So I would be anyone that has been in, has took an accounting one, right? You understand asset management. You got to get that liability up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And let's get some value out of it. Let's use that we have. And if Deshaun Watson comes on a robo Achilles, week 7, y'all are hot. Y'all at the top of the AFC North. Dog, the rookies won't even get a chance. Like, and I'm not saying that, Deshaun Watson or Shedeur's not going to get a chance. Dillon Gabriel's not going to get a chance. Dillon Gabriel is not going to last on that roster if that happens. If again, this is a fantasy scenario where Deshaun Watson makes things even more difficult in that quarterback room. Somehow. So just keep that in the back of your head, that Deshaun Watson is like a wild card that even if, you know what I'm saying? And then again, we can still have that same scenario play out where they do look bad. And instead of, hey, what do we got in the rookies? They say, hey, we're not confident in the rookies. Because at the end of the day, we're dealing with the Browns, right? I say the Bengals is the Bengals. The Browns is the Browns. So it wouldn't surprise me if the decision that they make doesn't make any sense. They come into week 7 and they go from Joe Flacco to Kenny Pickett and then Deshaun Watson and then I don't know. It could be anything. Oh, the Miss Beautifully Blessed is live again. I'm recording this live. If you're watching the video, she has to say, yeah, I think that's Deshaun's camp trying to keep his name in the media so he doesn't go by the wayside. Deshaun is gone. And I think that if we're being logical, Beautifully Blessed, and I really appreciate that donation, is more than 100% right. I think that Ian Coleman, like he alluded to at the beginning, at the top of this show, right? Why are they trying so hard to link Deshaun Watson to Shedeur Sanders, right? Because like my man Ian Coleman in the chat says, hey, the only person who's directly talked about it in interviews, from what I understand, it's actually Dillon Gabriel. Now, let's get deeper into it. So, to that point, this is an article from the New York Post, right? This is the clickbait top of it, right? Deshaun Watson taking Shedeur Sanders under his wing as a mentor. Now, this is going to quote Mary Kay Cabot as well, from what I understand. So, hey, y'all know how we feel about Mary Kay now. So, maybe is Mary Kay just trying to spin it? Does Mary Kay just want an excuse to talk about Deshaun Watson? Hey, could be. But let's see. So, New York Post has to say, Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson is taking on an additional role this offseason as he recovers from a re-aggravated Achilles injury, mentoring quarterbacks. Watson expected to miss much, if not all, of the 2025 season, which is, again, crazy because some of the reports have been completely opposite. Some say that he could throw the ball 50 yards like he's Uncle Rico right now. Anyway, it's said to be a source of support to the 4 quarterbacks vying for the starting job, including Joe Flizity. Come on, we know who was in there, right? You know, the Sanders boy, whom the former first-round pick has taken under his wing. Okay, well, that's important to read. Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, whom the first-round pick has taken under his wing, according to Cleveland.com's Mary Kay Cabot. Now, we got to bring the salt. We got to take our grains of salt and sprinkle it over whatever Mary Kay says. But Mary Kay says that Watson has been an awesome teammate inside the quarterback room and meeting rooms and has been a great cheerleader for the 4 quarterbacks vying for the starting job, Cabot reported Sunday, citing sources. Interesting. You know, so I didn't mean to sound like Tony Stavici. Black people. What I find crazy about this, and you go ahead and call me a glazer in the comment section. You know what I find so interesting is that Deshaun Watson, please somebody correct me. Please somebody, hey, cite your sources, prove me wrong. I will admit that I'm wrong. But is Deshaun Watson the first person this offseason that Mary Kay Cabot has called a good teammate? Is it any coincidence that all of the Browns teammates have had positive things to say about Shedeur? And again, this isn't even specifically about Shedeur. But you're telling me Deshaun Watson, Mary Kay, is the first person that pops to your head when good teammate comes to mind? Hey, man. But that's Mary Kay Cabot for you. Let's continue on. Watson's futures in Cleveland has been much of a question mark this offseason after he tore his Achilles again and underwent surgery in January. 2 months later, the Browns owner Jimmy Haslam dubbed the $230 million Watson experiment a failure. Oh, I forgot he said that too. That's crazy. His own owner came out and said, hey, this insane liability at this point, that's what he is and his contract is. This insane liability we had, it's just a failure. You know, this is not going to work. Shout you out, Grape Tea News. 2 months later, I already talked about, took a big swing and a miss with former Texans quarterback. And again, I'm a Texans fan. Like, I want y'all to know, for all the people who like say, oh my God, you just talk about because you're a Shedeur fan. Yeah. Or you're just a Deion Sanders fan. Yes, I am. But I also like football. And it's also hilarious that I get to talk about my ex, basically savior of my franchise. The first quarterback, don't disrespect Matt Schaub now. Don't disrespect Matt Schaub, but the first quarterback to give Texans hope to take it, not take us to the playoffs, but to give us real hope in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Matt Schaub got to the dance. We won a few with him, but it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? We didn't get there, right? So this is close to my heart. You feel me? Now, I don't want Deshaun Watson close to me in real life, but the Browns originally traded for Watson in March 2022 and subsequently signed him to a 5-year, $230 million guaranteed contract. That is crazy. It's 2027. I'm sorry. It's not funny. It's just funny because I feel like what's it been 3 seasons? One of the seasons, like they just treated him like a special needs child, and I don't mean no disrespect, but literally they're like, well, he can't run right because he's got to, recover, and he hasn't been playing football, and it was like this whole thing. Cool, wash that first season, wash. He didn't even get to play. He had a suspension. Cool. Next season, I think was that injury again. And then this season, another injury. Like, dog, it's been nothing but awful. You talk about a big swing and a miss. You ain't getting nothing. They ain't even let you up to the plate, son. You got 3 hitters struck out in a row. You were hitter number 4. Anyway, he was suspended for the first 11 games of his inaugural season in Cleveland. In the wake of his misconduct allegations made by massage therapists. Watson only appeared in 13 regular season games across 2023 and 2024 seasons due to injury. There you go. With Watson's availability in question for the upcoming season, the Browns led the Eagles quarterback Kenny Pickett in a March trade before signing Joe Flacco in April. Now, here's where we get to the conflicting reports, right? So here we go. We have Mary Kay Cabot, and this is where New York Times is basically their site and their sources. Right? This is Baskin and Phelps, 92.3 The Fan. They're another Cleveland-based entity as well. Mary Kay Cabot joined Baskin and Phelps and shared her thoughts on the Browns building a dome stadium and why she believes it will be a good thing and yada yada. She clarifies her reporting on Deshaun Watson and explains why he won't likely see any playing time this season. She also discussed which parts of the roster where the Browns need to build depth ahead of the season. So again, it was more of a, you know what I'm saying, and then it kind of changed it to, well, he's not going to play at all. So hey, maybe Mary Kay knows something we don't know. I feel like Mary Kay just be making I gotta be honest with you. It's not because Mary Kay. It's not because I don't think you're a wonderful, smart lady. I just feel like the things that come out your mouth, just don't. I just feel like they don't track. Sometimes they're 100% on. Other times it's like I don't. What are we talking about here? But July 1st, 2025. This is Andrew Buller Russ. Says last season ended early for Deshaun Watson after he tore his Achilles tendon just 7 games into the year. Watson's long road to recovery had a wrench thrown into the path when he retore that same surgically repaired Achilles, requiring another surgery on January 10th. Oh, I forgot that he retore it. That's awful. I forgot about that. Golly. That is awful. Anyway, now Watson is said to begin the 2025 NFL season on the the PUP list. With that, he'll be required to miss the first 4 weeks of the regular season. The Browns will have a 5-week window to evaluate Watson during the practice and decide when or if their then 30-year-old quarterback will be activated to the roster. Jeez, dog. Yeah, the way that this looks like, it's like, yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. If Watson isn't ready to go during the first 5-week evaluation timeline, he'll remain sidelined for the entire season. However, Cleveland.com's Mary Kay Cabot reports that Watson may be ready to practice as soon as October. While she maintains that it would be an extreme long shot for Watson to land on the active roster at any point during the upcoming season, it's worth noting that the Browns have not ruled him out. Considering the rapid progress he's made, it's probably wise not to deaden his momentum, specifically for a quarterback-needy team like the Browns. Okay, so let me rephrase kind of what I was saying. The conversation was that he was recovering extremely fast, right? So to give Mary Kay her what's it called? Not her facts, but to give her props, she seems to be being pretty truthful. If we take her by her full quote, what she's really saying is that he can practice by August. That don't really mean that he's, the guy by August, right? So we could legitimately be looking at, like that other small quote said, we could be legitimately looking at a possibility of him never playing for the Browns again, to be honest with you. One league source said Watson could be ready to practice sometime in October, but it remains to be seen if the Browns would open the window that soon, roughly 9 months post-op. While Watson may or may not contribute to the Browns, already have a loaded room of competition, starting with former Super Bowl winner Joe Flacco. We got, Kenny Pickett, XYZ. The Browns took a chance on reclamation. Browns also took a chance on Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. If all goes well, the Browns may even find a future franchise quarterback in that bunch. And I think the question that I want to ask you before I talk to my chat, because they've been going crazy, and close this video out, is if in a perfect world, who do you want to start for the Cleveland Browns? Imagine Deshaun Watson's healthy, right? Everybody's cool. You get Shedeur at the top of his, you know what I'm saying? He going to look like, you feel me? Prime Shedeur Sanders, like we've seen. You know how that boy get down. Dylan Gabriel, get him versus Ohio State. I don't even think he had a good game that day. But anyway, I want him on fire. I want January Joe. I want fake sliding Kenny Pickett. I want a historic rookie season before he, tore his fucking ACL. Deshaun Watson. That's crazy. Y'all, I side note, because again, I'm a Texas fan. Browns, y'all gave the most historic contract to someone who already had in high school had a lengthy history of ACL tears or ACL injury, tears it his rookie season, and then you sign him to I just don't understand that one, dog. 2027. Fully guaranteed. That is the worst. That contract is gonna go down with homeboy for Washington. I forgot his name. Defensive line. But let me read my chat. Let me stop. Yeah. So beautifully blessed, the wonderful who also donated earlier. I really appreciate you donating. Like I said, vacation coming up. You know what I'm saying? All this fun stuff. It ain't cheap, nah. But Ian Coleman says Matt Sean got Andre Johnson. Matt Schaub. Hey now, Ian. Ian, you be knowing ball, man. You be knowing ball. Treeborg says Arch isn't coming out this year. No. I'm not talking about Arch. We are going to talk about Arch. We're going to talk about him in a different way. Ian Coleman says Watson. Oh, shout out to you, Savage Gallup. Ian Coleman says Watson should have gotten Diddy lawyer. Too soon for Diddy. Hey, I mean that boy skated. That's crazy. I thought they were gonna put him in the cage. They need to put him somewhere though. If they ain't putting Diddy in jail, you got to give him like a timeout. Like just put him. I don't know. Put him in the ocean or something for like a second. Let him cool off. Ian says Arch dad won't let him. Yeah, that's real. If you type it in the chat, hit the button. This is our channel, help teams grow. Ian, you just like the realest out here for real. I really appreciate that support. I just appreciate y'all supporting the support. I'm gonna mod you up as well. Appreciate you, beautiful, blessed. Let Kenny Two Gloves start glove. Hey, what you know about Teddy Two Gloves, man? What you know about Teddy Two Gloves? Kenny Two Gloves. Kenny Two Gloves start. We not doing that to Shedeur. Beautifully blessed makes a great point, and that's how I felt this entire time. As much as I don't know, some of y'all watching my videos think I'm like some Shedeur Glazer, and I am biased towards Shedeur. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna let you. Hey, that's my guy. But I'm not delusional on two facets of being like, why would I think it's so dumb that they make like fresh rookies just start and go out there when we've seen the most potent quarterbacks come out of the league, or whenever the most potent quarterbacks come up in the league, they usually have a year rest. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, right? Like you could name a what's it called, historic quarterback, and I'll probably, most likely, not every time, I'll most likely show you a quarterback that sat down for a second and had to wait and look around and then took the mantle. Patrick Mahomes said, and let me be specific. Patrick Mahomes, his MVP season, not his second year, because his second year in the league, I believe, was the MVP season, or third year. After his MVP season, said he just learned how to read defenses. So he sat behind Alex Smith and then went out there and went crazy for his rookie but not rookie year, right? Yeah, I know he got some playing time his rookie year, and then said I couldn't read any fucking defense, and it was shredding people. So I say all that to say, who we think is the GOAT of this era right now, Patrick Mahomes, right? That's the kids call him. Give it some time, give it some rest, give him the advantage, give him what he can. Beautifully blessed says, I see those motorcycle gloves he be wearing. Hey, they be thick, boy. Savage Gala says, what are they talking about? Shedeur Sanders' name included on a Canadian football team negotiation list. Yeah, that's an older one, man. That's an older report. Ian Coleman says Gabriel start so him, Kevin Barry can be packed up, shipped to the Birmingham Stallions. Birmingham might be better run than the. Hey, Ian, Ian really knows ball for real. You be trying to act like trying to get a joke off. But let me end this video. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Like this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. What do you think? Do you think there's any problems with Deshaun Watson taking some of the rookies underneath their wing? Do you think Deshaun Watson has any chance of being on the football field this season as a Cleveland Brown? Let me know down below in the comments. Appreciate you rocking with me, and we will see you next time. But Ian, man, you be because the Birmingham Stallions really will be probably better. What are they, like 3-time spring champions across 2 different leagues or something like that? That takes a lot, man. That takes a lot, man. Okay, that's cool. Now, I think this video is going to be super fun. Unless y'all have any other opinion on something else y'all want to see, I'm going to give y'all a second if there's anything else y'all want to see. If not, I want to take a little walk down memory lane of Shedeur Sanders in Jackson State. Because I'm tired of disrespect, son. I really am. Oh, and let me do this one thing too. I gotta do this one little thing here. Wait a minute. How do you spell Milwaukee? Sorry, I gotta type this out. But yeah, I'm about to do this. MLWAUKE. MILW. Mill. MILW. Okay. Milwaukee is sorry, I had to finish this up real quick. You know, you ever send like an email and then the email be emailing you? You know what I'm saying? The email gonna try to email when you email it. You know what I'm saying? You know what's up, man. R-E-L-E-L-E-L-E. I can't spell sometimes. Golly. Tell me why. But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be dope. So the idea behind this video is that, you know, a lot of disrespect. A lot of times people bring up certain things when certain things are going on. They don't really paint the full picture. Wow. Dang it, man. I think I messed up, Doug. MILWA. Oh, it's two E's? Oh, it's two E's in Milwaukee. That's my problem. MILWAU. MILWAU. Sorry, man. I cannot spell today. That is crazy. That is so crazy. All right. Let's get down to both meat and both potatoes. All right. Sure. Oh, Shiloh does have a new video. I need to check out that Shiloh video too. But let's before we do that, I appreciate y'all helping me with the Milwaukee and everything. Let's get right into it now. Shedeur Sanders at his time at Jackson State was first in single season touchdown passes with 40, single season completions with 344, single season completion percentage at 70.5, and second in Jackson State history with single season passing yards, 3,752 yards. That comes with the accolades at the FCS HBCU level with the Walter Payton Awards finalist, SWAC Championship Game Offensive MVP, SWAC Offensive Player of the Year, First Team All-SWAC, Box Toro HBCU Offensive Player of the Year, Jerry Rice Award in 2021, SWAC Freshman of the Year in 2021, Second Team All-SWAC 2021. What I'm trying to get across to you is that when these conversations have been had about Shedeur Sanders and who he is as a football player, while I don't think it's wrong to, really focus on the Colorado years as, that could be deemed as some of the highest competition that he's faced, yada, 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 it seems like y'all just ignore his FCS days. It seems like y'all ignore his HBCU days. Now, I won't say the reason why I think y'all are ignoring him, but when y'all say, oh, well, he's 12-13, he hasn't won anything. He's won a few SWAC championships. He's been quite prevalent in SWAC. And before you say, oh, well, it's just the FCS. Yeah, Timmy, to you, it's just the FCS. To me, it is HBCUs. And if you ask anybody, including Deion Sanders, the only difference between HBCUs and the Power Five is the fat boys up front. And I have to agree. But when it comes to the people out there, the cornerbacks, the wide receivers, the skill positions, I mean, I'm about to read you off a few players that might have been decent in the NFL. I don't know if you ever heard of Jerry Rice. Walter Payton, you ever heard of him? Deacon Jones, some nobody, right? Mel Blount, someone who literally revolutionized the cornerback position. You've never heard of him, right? Art Shell, Jackie Slater, Willie Laner. How about Air McNair? The late, great Steve McNair, Larry Little, Richard Dent, Michael Strahan, Doug Williams, Shannon Sharp. Now, Shannon, you got to handle your snow bunny problem. There's nothing wrong with snow bunnies, but there's a problem when a snow bunny is trying to sue you, okay? So get that straightened out. Ken Houston, Willie Brown, Emmett Thompson. Oh, yeah, some dude named Bob Hayes. Legends in the world of the NFL. So when y'all don't add, Shedeur Sanders records also with his FCS, when y'all do y'all little hate thing, y'all try to comment down below, oh, well, he hasn't done anything. Go ahead and add them Jackson State stats, dog. Go ahead and do it. So with this video, we're going to walk through some more individual stats. We're going to walk through some more individual things that stand out about not just Shedeur Sanders, but Shedeur Sanders' time from high school to being at FCS. Because, again, there's another, I guess, agenda or maybe, I don't know, not agenda, but what do you call it? There's this idea that Shedeur Sanders only started where he started because of his dad was the coach, but he was a 4-star prospect. Again, I got the receipts. We're gonna get into it. So first, I have a collection of 4 videos. One is from Shedeur Sanders' last game at Jackson State. Now, they did lose the Celebration Bowl, from what I understand, if I am correct. So they never won the national championship for HBCU, which is the Celebration Bowl. Shout out to Coach TC Williams, because I believe he won, or Coach TC, if I'm saying it right. He won the Celebration Bowl a few years after they left. That's besides the point. What I am focused on, though, is we're going to start here with Shedeur speaking at the Celebration Bowl, speaking of the impact. Then we're going to go here with Shedeur speaking at the Pro Day about Jackson State, and then finishing up on his podcast as well. Okay, let's hear it.
Being at Jackson State, I would say it's eye-opening. A lot of people don't know about HBCUs. Personally, I didn't know about many HBCUs when I was going through my recruitment process. Mm-hmm. So I would say over the 2 years I've been here, 2.5 years I've been here, spotlight here, everything's here. It's some things that's not up to par, but it's good and bad with everything. So the people, the fans, everything about the city of Jackson I love. Facts. People say it's a lot of crime in the city, but we haven't ran into it. We got our head on straight. We're going to school, doing what we got to do. So just being in love with the city, the people, just how kind they are, just the whole HBCU family, talking to them in the airport, playing around with them. It's nothing I ever been around before. I went to a private school in high school. So being around a lot of people of our own color and our own type is it's truly fun. Yeah. And we was able to play for the city. You got to understand the city doesn't have any national teams. It only has college. So, I mean, it's just giving hope to the city for something different. Having something, just being there talking to kids at Blackburn Middle School, them being able to connect with us, them being able just to talk to us and just play with us and stuff like that. It's a lot of bad things in the city. A lot of kids never, when we brought some type of food up there, a lot of them ain't have it. They never tasted it before. So it was just being in Jackson. I just feel like it's just eye-opening for everybody. Kids will have something to look up to. Kids will want to be a Jackson State Tiger one day.
I think what's important is you know, not to take it back to where we are, which we will, because this was from 2025. This is 2022, mind you. Not only that, that's after a loss. I want y'all to know that's after final game of the season. You didn't win the big one. Hey, XYZ. Okay. And the fact that you could really see, and a lot of people, and I think this is true, people say, hey, Shiloh definitely loved Jackson State more than Shedeur, and I think that's fine to say. But to see those remarks that he had, you can tell that there was a real impact that he had, and he felt like he was making an impact when it came to Jackson State. So that's why I think it's so odd that people are trying to like ignore this part of his collegiate career, because it's like, if I go back and I look at more interviews from his HBCU days, am I going to see more interviews of him not being just a positive teammate? Forget being a positive teammate. This goes beyond. This is the thing that he's doing now in Cleveland, Ohio, when he's going to support these kids. Y'all remember when that reporter asked him, well, I mean, you know, with your draft slide, if you didn't have a draft slide, would you still have gone and visited those kids? And I've already showed y'all proof of him doing it in Colorado. I've shown you proof in it, you know, the first year of Colorado. Well, there's proof of him saying it in 2022 at Jackson State, Jackson, Mississippi. I know they had well-off media back then, but it wasn't popping and dropping. It wasn't Colorado. It wasn't everybody's Super Bowl. You feel me? So when I see his demeanor, what he's focused on, what he wants to highlight, the fact that he has the time after a loss to still uplift the city, that's like some bulletin board material stuff for the city, man. That's a beautiful thing, right? So I bring that up to talk about consistency. People often in my comments, oh, you're glazing, why do you do this? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you say you're a Texans fan, but you're this and that. No, I'm seeing someone who, if you've been just watching, has clearly been painted as something that he's not. This dude, this is the arrogant, crazy Nepo baby. All right.
I don't think Jackson State or Colorado had a winning history before I got there. So it's just another day in the office, another year in the office for me. It's the same thing over and over. And that's why I enjoy about life, because I understand how to approach different situations and what to do different. So I'm just thankful for the opportunity, and whoever drafts me, whatever pick, I truly don't matter to me, because I know in myself who I am and I know what I bring to the table. So whoever sees the value in that, you know, would be very lucky to give me.
Thank you. Now, and I'm happy I wanted to play this because I asked you a question. I said, this guy, right? And the same thing that I did leading up to the draft, whenever that first report came out, I'm going to do the same thing, where when you, Lamar Jackson, similarly, right? When you listen to Shedeur answer these questions, he knows what he's saying. He might not articulate is the wrong word. He might not communicate it in like the way that feels best for you. You get me? Like even when you listen to here, sorry, please ignore the fireworks. Even when you listen to here, he kind of, you know, slides some things here, slides some things. You and me know what he's trying to say. Like, I get it. Like, I get what he's trying to say. The way I talk, I'll be slipping through words. I'll be dropping words. I'll be mispronouncing words. Like, we get it, right? That is not, you know, a lack of intelligence, not a lack of communication skills. But what it does do for certain people, who it makes them feel small, is when you talk like that, right? So because we're about to get into the clarification, right? If you just take this, it's easy to paint Shedeur as some crazy dude, right? We just listened to this first one at Jackson State. Humility, grace, he's explaining that. And then here he says, oh, I don't think Jackson State or Colorado had a winning history before I got there. Whoever sees the value in that will be lucky to get me. If you just at face value read it, I can see how people think. Again, just clip out of context. If I just, oh, well, that guy, he's crazy. He's this and that. But again, we know what's going on, because here we go.
Being able to establish what we have been able to do at Jackson State and at Colorado, extremely incredible. Hey, look, and this one thing I want to clear up. What I was saying when I was saying like Colorado and Jackson State don't have a winning history, I was referring to in the last couple years. You know, I wasn't saying like the history of the whole program never won. Like I was never trying to intend things on being said that. So I'm
gonna let him finish. I'm gonna let him finish. But this is my point. It's if there was some people say Kyrie Irving is misunderstood, and I think that can be fair. But Kyrie Irving be doing some stupid shit too. Like Kyrie Irving is a weird dude at the same time. Like, come on, dog. Stop burning sage near the court, Kyrie. Love you though. Fantastic handles. I think Shedeur Sanders is legitimately misunderstood. Like this is a clear basis of, oh, I didn't even mean it like that. Like y'all tried to make it this thing, but you and I know what he meant. I know that he meant Colorado was fucking 1-11 and hadn't been to a bowl game since 2016. Actually, I believe 2020, but it was a shortened season. Y'all hadn't had a 10-win season since 2016, right? Or 9-win, whatever it was. Okay? Jackson State, why do you think they hired Deion Sanders? They needed a revival. So I will give the Shedeur haters that. I've always given y'all that bone. Shedeur is easy to misunderstand and then hate on. It's easy to take Shedeur out of context and clip him and make him seem like an asshole, especially for the Timmies. You feel me? The people who aren't around this. They don't get. Okay, I get where he's coming from. I know what he's saying. I don't need to be specifically over the last 3 years and fit like dog. I know what you're saying. These Knicks was 1-11. Ain't nobody heard of a Colorado football Buffalo until they came. Now me, a little different. I'm a college football. What's it called? I'm a college football degenerate, right? So my understanding of Colorado had always just been a school with a lengthy history, national champion, Heisman winner, but has just been in the bed as of recent, right? So it's a little different, right? It's a different perspective, but I think here you can kind of see that often misunderstood is Shedeur Sanders, I think. But let me run this back.
I was referring to in the last couple years. You know, I wasn't saying like the history of the whole program never won. Like I was never trying to intend things on being said that. So I could have said that cleaner and more precise, I would say. But that's one thing I want to emphasize. I wasn't saying the history of the organization never had it. I was meaning what I was meaning was like in the last recent years. Like a lot of these NFL franchises have won, of course, in the past, and they have did what they were supposed to do. But in the most recent years, it hasn't been the product, they was looking for as of Colorado and Jackson State. Before we got there in the last couple years, the product wasn't there and the production wasn't there. So that was just one thing I wanted to clear up because it wasn't like I was trying to ever disrespect what the past players and the legends of each university did. And the teams that worked hard and was able to establish that program in the past, but I was saying more in like the recent years. Things we're able to, remember.
I think the real ones knew where you were coming from and knew what you meant, right? But is it frustrating?
Yeah, but the thing is, I got to take self accountability with that. That I got to be more clear and decisive.
Dog, this is entitled and arrogant, man. God, this entitled and arrogant Nepo baby who is finding ways to take self accountability on his own podcast about the way that he conducts himself and orates himself. I'm sorry, this was not even supposed to be about Shedeur, the person. It was mostly just about, hey, his respect for Jackson State. And I wanted to make that point in this video. But I watched this and it really irks me. You know what I'm saying? That's an overused word, but it does. It really irks me that this person was painted that way. Y'all can say he's silly. Y'all can say whatever. Y'all can say he ain't this, whatever. He's not the smart. Oh, okay, y'all can get all that off. But arrogant and entitled and all this bad teammate shit y'all was trying to get off, dog. Like that's where I had to I had to get in the booth. I had to start yelling in his mic because every single time I watch the videos of Shedeur explaining himself, he comes off as someone who only wants to be understood well, who only wants to do things the right way, who wants to be humble in his approach and top tier in his execution. But I got people saying that he's some whatever. He's ungrateful. He's this, he's that. I just don't know what reports y'all looking at. Rhyming accidentally. I just want to get into some of these stats, and these are stats more so that kind of triangulate what his playing time, again, because that's what this is mainly about, what his playing time encompassed at Jackson State. So Shedeur Sanders in week 1 versus 20, again, some of these are week 1s, some of these are, combinations, some of these are Jackson State stats. Whoa, I'm so sorry. It says, this is Stan Beckton. He says, Shedeur Sanders in week 1, 2022 versus 2023. Obviously, 23, iconic versus TCU. So, 2022 in Jackson State, 29 for 33, 88%, 323 yards, 5 touchdowns, 17 rushing yards, 11 different wide receiver targets. 2023 in Colorado, 38 for 47 for 81%, 510 yards, 4 touchdowns to 6 different wide receivers. He ends it off by saying, whether it's an FCS HBCU or the Power 5 level, he started the season with a bang. So some few more stats here from Field Yates. Jackson State quarterback Shedeur Sanders, obviously this underhanded Deion Sanders, threw 3 quarters against FAMU. And that was that same game. So at the time, 3 quarters was 28 for 31, 311 yards, 5 touchdowns. Opened up the game a perfect 17 for 17 with 3 touchdowns. You could do that against high school players, and I'd be surprised. Hey, congratulations. Shedeur Sanders' final stats of his, I believe, freshman season, right? 70% completion, 3,388. Oh, I'm sorry. I believe this is, this is ended 2022. So I think this is the second year. Is this a year? 3,000 completion passing yards, 41 total touchdowns, 6 interceptions. The Jackson State quarterback is expected. Yeah, okay. So that's his total yards after the second year. And then Shedeur Sanders' completion percentage. Starting at Jackson State in 2022, 66%. 71 in Jackson State. 69 in Colorado. 74 in Colorado in 2024 to end the season. And then best freshman. Jackson State, obviously, Shedeur Sanders. And I say all these things to say, and somebody asked me to get you a bunch of clips of him running. I just think this is funny because he used to run. Like, I don't know why the narrative, he's not fast. Again, he's not, he's not Michael Vick. He's not his daddy or nothing. But I don't know where the narrative came that he couldn't run because he was doing this at Colorado. But obviously I can't show you because of the copyrights, but this is a sideline. You can see him high stepping. I don't know who y'all thought this, like, I had to open the vault on these y'all seen that? That's one of my favorite TikTok trends now. Open the vault. I got to open the vault on y'all, dog. Show y'all what's really real. Is this another rushing touchdown? Hold up. Yes, it is. He loved doing, I call these the Peyton Mannings. The goal line run around to get, that boy. Yeah. Yeah, that's why they don't like Shedeur, by the way. That's why they don't like it. Because when he gets on that football field, he acts like he's playing football. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is like he's playing a very physical sport, man. I just want to just read these last few things because, again, Nepo baby, he was going to start everywhere. Boom. Deion Sanders' son commits to play at HBCU Jackson State. He's a 4-star pro-style quarterback. He wasn't some dude. He was committed to FAU. Him and Cam were committed to FAU, switched over to Jackson State. Anybody who watched Colorado knows Shedeur Sanders is a top 5 talent. I followed Shedeur and covered him since he was Jackson State. I started at Clutch Points so he started at Clutch Points. So he was at Clutch Points before they got to Colorado. I've seen the whole journey. Not top 5 pick, but definitely first round talent. Obviously top 5 quarterback. Obviously, yeah, that's fine. Here is from 2 years ago. How is Shedeur Sanders doing so well against FBS? These are the question people were asking. I love the story. Love watching Colorado and Shedeur so far this season.
I did not expect it at all, though. 2 seasons at Jackson State, he averaged 156 per ESPN, albeit he was at 160 last year. He also only threw for more than 400 yards once in those 2 years. This year, he is at 185 rating with 903 yards for 2 games. Conventional wisdom would say that he would have tougher sledding at FBS level, especially as the SWAC is not at the top of the FCS. So how did he make such a leap? Training, luck, 2-game aberration. It wasn't 2 games aberration because he actually kept his, even though that Colorado had a bad season, his completion percentage remained consistent, right? Deion Sanders gets his first 4-star commit at Jackson State. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders, his son, flips from FAU to play for the Hall of Fame DB. And I really just wanted to make this video to say, please, to all the Shedeur haters, make sure you include the Jackson State stuff. I know that y'all don't respect HBCUs. I know y'all don't respect FCS quarterbacks unless their name is Trey Lance or what's his name? Carson. What is his name? Eagles 11. He had an MVP. Carson Wentz, right? Unless it's a quarterback. I know they're not FCS anymore. Joe Flacco from Delaware. It's not FCS anymore. I just don't understand why y'all discount Shedeur's HBCU record. So y'all let me know down below in the comments how you feel about that. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, subscribe if you enjoy football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, and fashions. Deep in the off season. If you're watching this, I'm probably on vacation. Unless you're here watching live, appreciate you rock with me. If you're here live, you continue to be great, continue to be amazing. We'll see you next time, man. Peace. All right. Now, what we got? We got the Shedeur stuff off. Let's have it. Let's. I want to listen to Travis Hunter, man. I want to see what Travis Hunter does, how he does, the way he does it. Oh, I gotta add a few more routes here. Gotta add a few more. Not routes, but what do you call it? Okay. All right. I need to add a few more videos to this. I'll be trying to have like some real deep, you know what I mean? Here we go. Here we go. There it is. Just wanted to get going smooth with them routes. That's all I wanted to do. Oh, yeah, and then add this to my... All right. So, Travis Hunter. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Travis Hunter. Specifically Travis Hunter, because of... Oh, wait. I didn't even read the chat. My fault. Let me read y'all's chats. I'm so sorry. All right. TC Taylor. Thank you, Amber, for showing up. The kids were truly amazed. Beautifully Blessed says they have to invalidate those years, so it looks like he's not played much. That's an interesting take. Amber says it was great times. He is loved and missed, but it was the truth. Where's the lie, arrogance in that? I love to see it. Nate Edwards says, man, I'm 65 years old, and I knew what he was saying, especially at Jackson State. It's people that don't know about the swag. Hey, man, I got to agree. Amber, again, says it's the same way they said he put his teammates down when he asked how many times. Thank you, Amber. Thank you for she. You know what I'm talking about. The Nebraska video, you know what I'm talking about. RN Sir says, Tiger Talk missing the millions stolen by those who stole representative. My opinion, I remember. Yeah, that's a whole another can of worms. Paid Bum says, Shedeur about to have the league in a chokehold. He was striking, but they will soon say anything to hate on my boy. I gotta agree with that. It seems like they're just trying to find ways to make things get out of order. And it seemed odd. You feel me? Mr. 3000 says, I think Travis will have a better defensive back career over wide receiver unless he can really hone his craft on offense. Yeah, that's a conversation that needs to be had. And that's actually kind of the basis of this video. So we're going to get right into it. Travis Hunter and the Jacksonville Jaguars have a serious problem. They have to answer to what he is as a player. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. Now, we've seen people play both sides. We've seen people play multiple positions, X, Y, Z. But to this extent, to play full-time, basically corner and basically full-time wide receiver as he seeks out to be, and it seemingly as his front office wants to enable him to do, is something that not only is unprecedented, but something that I am extremely excited to see what it looks like. So I want to walk down a little bit of history. We're going to listen to Deion Sanders and speak about the campaign that he really went on, just a small part of it, of him wanting to ensure that Travis Hunter went to somewhere that he got to play on both sides. We're also going to check out a few of these clips from, I believe it was Diami Brown's vlog that he posted to them out there in the Bahamas, getting some routes going. It's super nice. It's super clean, right? A few other clips of Travis Hunter just soaking it up with the NFLs and the NFL greats and things of that nature. And then you got Travis Kelce saying that NFL teams are going to basically make Travis Hunter's life a very, very bad time. And then finally, we're going to end it off with, again, a throwback. Oh, sorry, these are out of order. We're not going to end it here. We're going to listen to Mr. Khan, the exec over there at the Jags. He's going to talk about Travis Hunter and the generalities about the Jags. And if we have time at the end, throwback Deion Sanders telling how Travis Hunter made it to Jackson State, because I think that's a dope story. So I want to start right here at the top with Deion Sanders. Now, this is why these videos are important, when we record them, right? Because this is September 5th, 2024, when this was recorded right here. So this is Deion speaking about playing both sides of the ball and kind of speaking that into existence.
You know what makes me sick about that kind of stuff? Well, I totally agree. But I see former NFL players sit on these type of platforms and all the kind of platforms that give them a voice now, sit up there and say what this man can't do at the next level.
Right.
How stupid is that?
Yeah.
How can you say what a person can't do just because you can't fathom it? Yeah. No one has seen a guy go both ways like he goes.
Sure.
And you say, oh, he can't do that. Yes, he can. That's what he does. That's all he knows.
Yeah.
So how you going to tell a man what he can't do? And the scouts ask me every day, what is he? I say he's a football player. If you put him on offense in the NFL and you don't have him on defense, you're going to look like a fool because he's going to be your best defensive player not playing. And the same thing vice versa. So the best thing for you to do is draft him to whatever and have a package ready for him on the opposing side.
Do you think it's
and I have been of the mind thinking that, but Deion Sanders has been making the right decision when it comes to how he's framing it and how things should be basically handled, right? But I think more so, and it's more important to kind of point out that, like, the consistency of him speaking these things in existence. This is not him already being drafted, right? This is not him already winning a Heisman. This is not even him at this point. I don't think he was a Heisman favorite as of yet, right? So to understand those things and say, look, no, this is just the guy. He's just the guy, and I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. And to not just beat the drum, but to project that at this point, I think that is something that speaks large volumes to the things that's going on and the confidence that Coach Prime ultimately had and has in Travis Hunter. Now, what does that look like on the field, or at least the fields of Bahamas? Sunshine. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? It's just like, you know what I mean? Oh, T-Law. Hey! They said, hey, come on, dog. They said my man Travis Hunter's energy was too much, man. They said he was too much. He's too bubbly. he got QB1. First off, this is the longest fucking handshake. Golly, never give this handshake. East. Now they're either gonna hate that or you could spin it as positive, the fact that they would allow to do some bullshit like that. But hey, I think it's good to see. But now the football part of it, this is what he's really good at. You know what I'm saying? Around the ball skills, the fluidity, he gets to show it off in a multitude of different ways out there in the Bohemian heat. This is super cool, though. I think this is I know this is going to sound stupid, but the Bahama Bowl. I wonder what they do. Bahama Bowl, I'm going to have to look into. If y'all want me to look into some, you know what I'm saying, some Bohemian football, I can do that. But I'm sure that they use the Bahama Bowl for other things when it's not being Bahama then bowled up. Now, I want to hear from an NFL player. How does he feel, more specifically Travis Kelce, about how Travis Hunter is going to be not only implemented, but how is he going to be attacked at the NFL level?
When Nebraska beat Colorado,
we're on fire. We won our first 5 games.
They got mopped by Colorado.
First of all,
by Colorado.
First of all, it wasn't a great showing.
But Colorado.
I know, dude. Travis Hunter, man. Guy's really good.
Do you think he's going to be good in the NFL?
Hell
That's
yes.
a hard question to ask because you're still active.
100%.
But, what's the expectation of this kid?
World-class
All
athlete.
pro, both sides?
Both sides? See, that's the thing. I don't know how they're going to
It's crazy
divvy it out. I don't know if his teams are going to be going after him. Yeah, they're going to try and make his day miserable. If he plays corner, they're going to run deep balls at him all day. They're going to run the wide receivers, just take off on him all day just to try and get him tired.
Yeah.
I'm like, why wouldn't you just attack him that way?
He loves football.
I saw him play basketball, and I was like, oh, yeah,
An athlete.
he's an athlete.
Okay, so first off, I think that's an interesting take because, when you read that comment, oh, you're going to make your life it reads as if, the issue at hand is that, oh, yeah, Travis, he just can't, he ain't going to be able to handle it type beat. But when you actually listen to it, it's more like, yo, dog, you playing both sides? Oh, I'm going to take you for a ride. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to make sure that you get nice and tired out at corner. You ain't just going to sit here and, oh, we're not going to throw to your side type corner. Oh, you're so big and bad, Travis. Nope, clear out route every time, Hey, every time. If it's a run, hey, clear out route. Clear out. I'm not blocking, I'm running, Make sure everything's a draw. Everything's a draw. Let's make sure Travis Hunter runs at least 10 yards every play. Now that's a good plan. That can make something shake and make something bake. But that's been a lot said. To speak about what it means to have somebody like this, what it means to be the Jaguars in totality, the main man, Rich Eisen, did have Mr. Tony Khan, Jaguars exec, on there. And he says, we've been speculating since the NFL draft how Jacksonville is going to use Travis Hunter and how much he'll play on either side of the ball. So this is the question. Now, I might have to bop around to get to the specific Travis Hunter questions, but we're going to let this play a little bit, yap after a little bit, and then we'll go from there, all right?
I got to ask you about Travis Hunter, man.
Yes.
I mean,
the unicorn.
How, walk me through that draft room moment. The Browns are on the clock. I imagine this was discussed ad nauseum in your building.
Well in advance, and it really speaks to the preparation. I think James Gladstone, Liam Cohen, Tony Baselli, we have a great football leadership and really, really a lot of great communication. This was something that James and the team had been talking about for a long time. Mm-hmm. To me, I really think it's just brilliant. As an analytics person and working in football analytics, Travis Hunter had some of the most impressive statistics on both sides of the ball, and to be able to bring in somebody that can add so much value to the team on both sides of the ball, and with the great plan that Liam has to use Travis I just think he's going to be so great. He's also a great human being, and James believes in doing that kind of work. We had really a lot of great communication well in advance about it. They had made the deal in advance, and barring anything unforeseen with the number 1 pick, this was going to happen. And I just think for a person who's a first-year general manager, James had great composure and a great plan, and it was very impressive.
Well, I mean, mass celebration, I imagine, right? When this thing got
yeah, absolutely.
Right. And when this thing gets pulled off, and again, I know, again, as you are the chief football strategy officer, you deal with the analytics more than most. This, to me, could be one of the most analytics-driven draft picks ever because of what he can do at two positions. And what he can do at two positions, I didn't think, again, people are like, wow, it's not even for a quarterback. You're trading a first-round pick and the next year's draft for it. I looked at it as like, okay, even the second-round pick you gave up, you could take the top receiver here. You won't get the top corner, top of two, second round. You could take the top corner here. You're not getting the top receiver in round two.
Right.
And you got the same guy in both, right? And to me, that's a no-brainer is the way I was looking at it. I'm wondering what you saw from the analytics side of things, or if there's any numbers you can bring to bear to this conversation where you're like, this is what we've got to do.
Absolutely. I think, like I said, James had great points about Travis being somebody who would be a difference maker on both sides of the ball that could contribute as a top receiver and as a top corner. And for us, I think Liam's got a great plan to integrate him. And knowing that going into the draft and realizing if you're going to try to account for the trade value of a player, this is a very unique situation. You're not accumulating, is exactly what you said, Rich. You're not just looking at the trade value of a top receiver or a top corner. You're looking at both. And for the way Liam plans to involve him, I think it made a lot of sense. And certainly from an analytics standpoint, I thought it was a great move. And I'm very excited about Travis Hunter in Jacksonville. And I think all the fans are. It's going to be great for the Jaguars.
No doubt. I mean, all right, well, that's twice you've mentioned about Liam Cohen's plans. What are his plans?
Here we go.
Super open about it that Liam plans to involve Travis on offense and defense. I think in our off-season activities already early in minicamp, and we've seen Travis work on both sides, and really he's been very impressive on both sides. And it's very early, but I think he's got a great group of coaches to work with on both sides of the ball. So we're really excited about it. And I think Liam's talked about it a good amount that he really believes Travis can contribute on offense and defense.
I want, all right, screw it. I'm just going to walk through the front door.
That's big. That's huge.
Right?
Yep.
How you doing, Navarro Brown? How you doing?
Out of him. Tony.
Yeah, just forward that to Coach Cohen. Yeah, Tony,
I'll tell him he knows I'm knocking on his door.
Yeah.
I might as well say it in the microphone with you sitting here, Tony, because I've said it in the microphone without you sitting here. I want to see 100 snaps a game. I want to see 50 on either side of the ball. And because he's too, this is, and again, you are not just, in your capacity with the Jaguars, but also your capacity, what you're doing with AEW wrestling. Stars are so tough to come by. Buzz is so tough to come by. Fan interest absolutely is a metric. And that translates and permeates. You've got one. Yes. You drafted one, man. So,
I want to watch the whole thing. I mean, we watched about half of it. About 5 minutes of it actually. So I want to spam a lot of it. But here's what I want to say though, because we've been watching a lot of Travis Hunter stuff, right? We've been keeping up with Cohen saying, we've been keeping up with minicamp. So just based off of these comments that we hear from Tony Khan, please go watch Rich Eisen's full situation. Make sure you situate the way it needs to be situated. But when I see all this and I read all this and I hear all this, because we heard it all, what sticks out to me is the consistency, right? We've heard this same plan, like the plan that he just unveiled, and it's not new to him being the exec to not know everything, but I think or to maybe give a certain answer. Hey, the answer when you ask about Travis Hunter plan is this, right? This is the cookie cutter answer, but that's not the answer that was given. It wasn't just a cookie cutter answer, unless they decided, hey, maybe they did that, maybe they're ahead of the 8-ball. They decide that, hey, Tony Khan as the exec, don't go out there spilling no beans. Just say, hey, we got it. But what he said was, no, not too many names, not Tony Khan. Liam Cohen, God, these names, boy, I'm terrible with names. Liam Cohen has a plan, and the plan is, hey, he is going to play both sides, and we're going to max him out, and we're going to do the most. And when we heard Liam Cohen, and I believe actually Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinators, last day he got the most specific I heard was that he's actually going to learn offense first, be a receiver,
and then start learning defense and almost be a secondary defender player. Now, we've talked about this. I am vehemently against him being an offensive player than to be a defensive player, only not because I think, one's more difficult than the other. Even though we can get into that conversation, I think that difficulty can be masked by scheme, right? If you're a wide receiver, well, if every single Travis Hunter package, you only have 3 fucking routes, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to run those 3 routes either from the slot, from the X, or from out here like that. That's it. You're going to run it outside, inside. I might motion you across and do that. Just give him 3 routes. I think that it's so much easier to envelop someone like Travis Hunter into your offense as a different flavor than it is to and this is something that, funny enough, Colorado dealt with during the season. And actually, they did a good job at it. Was, okay, so what do you do when your best cornerback, which presumably you were going to think Travis is going to be either your best or your at least top 3 corner. What are you going to do when he's out? Early on, it makes sense because, hey, play him as your nickel back. You can get away with that until they start putting them tight ends in the slot, right? Until they start putting them big body boys in the slot, until they start motioning in Drake London from the outside and to force him into a matchup against Travis Hunter. Not to say that I don't think Travis Hunter can't handle Drake London, right? What I'm saying is I'd want him to be a full-time defender if he's going to handle Drake London. So the idea of him coming out and being the nickel back is one of the most important, valuable positions. Not to say that Travis Hunter can't do it, but I would want him to be a really good nickelback and train that as well. So, but it is what it is. That's not what we're here to talk about. What I want to speak about is the fact that as much as we've been talking about Shedeur on this channel, right? As much as we've been talking about Shiloh, and I think it's kind of in the same vein, right? I think it's amazing to see a young top tier player, we presume to be a player, presume to be someone who's going to be major, having his way, right? And I don't mean that as in, any derogatory word or any like, oh, whatever, he's just getting whatever he wants and blah, blah, blah. But I mean that as, look, this is a guy who loves football. Let him dance, let him play football, and let him bring his fiance or wife now when he wants. And let him fish. And that's it. So if that involves letting him play both sides of the ball, the fact that this, not just head office, not just head coach, but exec seem to be all fully behind it, I think that's something that's great. I think that's something that when you're someone about to do unprecedented things, when you're trying to do things that no one else has been able to achieve, it is amazing to see the secondary support staff, not his family. We don't know, what I'm saying? Obviously, I think he'd be all right with Dion and the people that are supporting him. But to see this secondary, to see him walk into support instead of being almost challenged as you see with some even top tier guys, right? It almost feels like he is the red carpet is being rolled out to the nth degree. Not just, we'll make you feel comfortable, right? Which is, I feel like they do that with everybody. But no, as the wide receiver cornerback, you're a cornerstone of this team. And we're entrusting you to take this team to heights. And in doing so, we're going to allow you to do things that no one else can do. So the confidence is great. The support is great. It's a phenomenal thing to see. Just don't do anything good against the Texans. And then you and me, Travis Hunter, we're going to be locked in for life. All right. Just leave my Texans alone. But regardless, if you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you don't, dislike it. Subscribe if you enjoy football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, and fashion. Continue being great. Continue being phenomenal. Thank you so much for supporting and watching the video. Bail out Kansas if you don't want to miss Nathan. Did I tell you were great? I probably did. But we'll see you next time. Peace. All right. Live chat. Live chatters. I got to be honest with you. I think the chat is broken. Because not that y'all aren't chatting, but like I literally had to switch to another device to see the chat work. So that was something. Oh my god. Let me check something. If you in the chat, say what's happening. If you in the chat, say what's happening. What's happening? All right. Last video that I'm going to do. I do want to do this flow training video. I think this is hilarious. I don't have enough ammo yet. I don't like to give y'all half videos. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep these in my back pocket. You feel me? Like a rocket. Okay, but I am going to use this as an excuse to talk about Arch Manning. We will talk about Arch Manning here. But more importantly than Arch Manning, we're also going to talk about college football 20. Oh, here we go. There we go. Now I got my people speaking. Okay, what's happening? Y High says we still them boys. What's happening? LA says, and I'm back on things. We still them boys fans. Okay, thank y'all. First off, amazing. Thank y'all, because I literally thought my chat was broken because it was like I had to go to, like, if y'all see me looking down, I'm looking at my laptop because I had y'all on my second screen. My second screen wasn't showing the chat, and then I pulled y'all here. I had to go on Safari. This is a Mac device, so thank y'all, first off, for letting me know my thing wasn't broken. And thank y'all for saying what's happening then. We got Nalovo Brown. She said hello, everybody, to Nisa, or just Nisa, you know what I'm saying? Not too much. She says, hey, and she's a phenomenal, fabulous member. Remember, the members are going to get some exclusive content. I'm going to add a tier, but for people like Nisa and the people who are already locked in by the end of July, if you're already the bottom tier, I'm going to get you that content too. So, you know, she's just doing that out of the greatness of her heart because I ain't got no extra content yet, but because that's why I'm moving and shaking, and I'm literally moving this summer, so it's a whole different thing. But I am going to add Nisa as a moderator. Perfect. Thank you, Nisa. Beautifully blessed. Y'all know what she do. Y'all know what the beautifully blessed does. And then Y High is shouting out his boys. LA says he's back. Art and Sir says, what is happening? Thank y'all so much for being here in the live chat. I think those first 3 videos were super fun. I think they were cool. I think they were dope little topics that were not just your normal every single day Shedeur this, Shedeur that. I liked it. I like where we headed. And of course, talking about Travis Hunter is always a good time. Now, something that y'all are not gonna be too happy about, but I gotta get it off. I gotta get it off. You feel me? And that's some dude named Paul Feinbaum, right? He said some crazy. Of course, Nisa. Of course, Nisa. Of course. You one of the best in the building. So we're gonna record this video, and after I don't know how many of y'all are, because you know my original OG supporters from like a year ago this time. I'm not saying you worse or better off because of it. Actually, you're probably better to not play the game because you're like me. You're like an adult baby like me that plays the college football game and is excited for the year 2 of the reskin like I am. We're going to talk about it, but we ain't going to talk too highly about it. I got some bones to pick. If y'all know me, y'all know that I got my account came up. I wouldn't say complaining, but at least voicing my opinions about the game. And then I got to a point where it's like, dog, I'm not going to make a year's worth of content just complaining about this game. I might as well talk about the actual football. So that's where we're here. That's how we're here. And that's how I'm going to force Arch Manning content down your throat. How about it, huh? Gotta do it. Gotta have it, right? They said Mel Kiper was going to fire. They said he was pushing Shedeur Sanders' agendas. It was over the top. Now, I'm not saying I even disagree. There are levels of glaze, and I think Mel Kiper reached enormous levels, at least that's what the kids call it, of amazing glaze. And I think that we've seen some absolute Krispy Kreme level glaze happening with Mr. Paul Feinbaum, the champion of the SEC, who loves the SEC, but is also hated by every single head SEC coach. Paul Feinbaum has more hot takes to say, and would you believe it? It's something that nobody agrees with. He says that Arch Manning is the best college football quarterback we have seen since Tim Tebow. He's going to say it because this is ridiculous.
Paul Feinbaum, what are your expectations for Arch? the absolute roof. I think there's a reasonably good chance that Arch Manning will be sitting on the front row in New York at the Heisman ceremony. That's assuming that his team does what it's supposed to do and compete for not only the SEC, but for the national championship. And I really believe they will. I think Steve Sarkisian, who's one of the most amazing play callers I've ever seen, made a critical mistake late in the year. He was way too loyal to Quinn Ewers, who was banged up and was really ineffective. Had Arch Manning been instituted in the second half of that game, like Nick Saban did a couple of years ago with Tagovailoa, I think there's a reasonably good chance that Texas would have beaten Ohio State and won the national championship. They're very capable of doing it again this year. I believe also that Arch Manning is the best college football quarterback we have seen since Tim Tebow entered the scene in 2006.
What are you?
Look, I'm literally wearing a Texans hat. Sometimes I wear a Texas hat. I am a Texas fan. I'm going to push so much Arch Manning propaganda down y'all throat this year. I'm pushing Colorado propaganda. I'm pushing Texas propaganda, Arch Manning propaganda, Jimmy Horn propaganda, and did I say Arch Manning propaganda? And Shedeur Sanders propaganda, okay? But this is on the top of my propaganda list. This is the most ridiculous statement I have ever heard in my natural born life. 24/7, I literally just typed top 10 quarterbacks of the last decade. Number 10 is Kyler Murray. Dog, I'm sorry. I love Arch. I think he's going to be a 6'4". I think he's going to win 3 Heismans back to back. I'm sorry about it. Sorry about it. He's not better than Kyler Murray, motherfucker. I'm sorry. Kyler Murray, and he played for Oklahoma. I hated Kyler Murray. I hated his short twinkle toe running around like he was Mr. Krabs. I hated it. But I am not going to lie. In all the propaganda that I will push, I'm going to, Arch can throw 7 interceptions in one game. I will Nathan Peterman, and I will make a way to make it not his fault. What I will not say is that Arch Manning is better than Kyler Murray. He's number 10 on the list. Motherfucker. Heisman Trophy winner, 4,000 yards, 42 touchdowns. Caleb Williams, USC, Heisman Trophy winner. Kind of good at football, number 1 overall pick. Patrick Mahomes, timeout. This is for my real ball knowers. This is not for the sometimes ball knowers, right? And if you're watching this, you're probably a real ball knower, okay? The revisionist history for Patrick Mahomes. Please, let's not do it. They thought Patrick Mahomes was going to be Jay Cutler with a bigger arm. That's not me. Look up what the scout said. It's crazy because, never mind, we're not going to get there. But the fact that Patrick Mahomes is number 8 on this list, I should probably show y'all the list, huh? But there's so many ads across the screen. Anyway, Marcus Mariota. Stop. The Flying Hawaiian? I don't think he was called that. But I called him that. Marcus Mariota, Trevor Lawrence, who was literally coming into his freshman year, they were comparing him to Andrew Luck, the most perfect quarterback comp of all time. Okay. So for asthma, Deshaun Watson, he should not be named. Bryce Young, one of the most efficient and proficient college careers. Mr. Bryce Young, Lamar. I don't even want to go number 2-1. Joe Burrow, number 1 Baker Mayfield. That's just the last decade. Now we're not even. I hate to do this to my guy because I'm going to. This is the last time I'm ever going to speak negatively of Arch Manning. I promise you. I promise you. Okay, let's take a look at Arch Manning's stats. I'm not one to just say stats again. Projection. Steve Sarkisian is a phenomenal offensive coordinator, and I think him having an offense built around Arch Manning, I think it's gonna be scary for y'all. It's gonna be real scary. My issue with this is it feels like you're just setting Arch Manning up for failure. You know what I'm saying? You can run, and I'm about to prove something. You can run a super proficient offense and win a national championship, all that, and not even be considered anywhere near a top anything. Quarterback, right? Not top nothing. You could have one of the most explosive, efficient seasons in college football offensive history. You want to know why? Because not Mac Brown, Mac Jones did it in 2020 with Devontae Smith. Go look up that season. One of the most proficient and efficient. That was one of the most explosive Alabama offenses in history. One of the most explosive offenses in history. I believe that was Steve Sarkisian, if I'm not correct. If I'm wrong, am I wrong? I think I might be wrong. And I say that to say, why set Arch Manning up for failure when he has a combined from 2023 and last season 63 completions on 95 attempts. He hasn't even thrown 100 yards in his entire collegiate football career. Okay? So, you compare that to some dude named Tim Tebow. Again, this is the dude that he said that the most exciting since 2006 he didn't start. So, cool. 2007, 3,000 yards through the air, 895 on the ground, 673 on the ground, 2,743 through the air, 910 on the ground, 2,895 through the air, averages of 9.4 to 9.2, touchdowns of 20. Oh my God. 2007, that boy was going crazy. Anyway, but that was, you run around in the playoffs, or not playoffs, golly, BCS. Jeez, so many different things. College football is weird. Anyway, awards and honors. AP Player of the Year award, Consensus All-American award, Davey O'Brien award, Heisman Trophy, Maxwell Award, Manning Award, 2008 Maxwell Award, 2008 SEC Offensive Player of the Year. Can we not do this to Arch Manning just yet? Please. Not yet. And of all people, Cam Newton is going to have, I think, a very even keel take on this. But we're not going to go there yet. I do want to, I know we talk about glaze, we talk about bias. I don't think there's anybody more biased than Peyton Manning towards Arch, right? But let's hear what he had to say about Arch Manning on the podcast. Oh, and thank you so much. Beautifully Blessed says, because they want him to come out of college early, and I pray the hype doesn't convince him to do so. I don't think that he will come out early. Beautifully Blessed, thank you so much for the extra $5. I really appreciate everything y'all donate. Again, it means a lot. But you do, I think you're right, but I think the reason you're right is a little different. That he's not going to go, and it has a lot more to do with his family and the way they have set up, and the fact that he don't need no money. There is no rush for him to go to the NFL. He don't even need no NIL. It's like even if it was just, if there was no such thing as NIL, there still wouldn't really be much of a rush. You got how many NFL, but he gonna be high. I think Arch gonna be all right. But let's hear what old Peyton had to say about his nephew. Nephew, right?
Look, Eli and I are his uncles. We try to be there as a resource for him. But Cooper has done a great job with Arch, and they've handled all of the different things that have kind of come their way in the right way. And I'm excited to watch Arch play. He's been very patient. I thought he threw the ball really well at the camp. He and Garrett Nussmeier in kind of our 3 throwing exhibitions really threw the ball well. All the quarterbacks threw it well. It's impressive. I mean, they make throws that I wouldn't even think about making. I mean, Arch made a throw the other day that I'd have to hit the cutoff man in order to get the ball to the actual receiver. And Nussmeier, Lenoris for South Carolina. I mean, it's impressive all the way around. But look, he's been patient. It's been well documented. The fact that he's, been there 2 years. I'm such a believer in mastering the system that you're in. And when you have new coordinators every single year in the NFL or college, that's just frustrating to me. I was lucky, Tom Moore, Pat was there my entire 14-year career. Belichick gave Brady some different coordinators, Charlie Weiss, McDaniels, O'Brien, but it was the same system, right? Nick Saban makes his quarterbacks, our new coordinators, learn his system. So does Kirby. And so the fact that Sarkisian calls the plays, and Arch has been there 2 years already, is going to know the system. That's going to be a huge advantage for him. And I'm looking forward to seeing him get out there on the field. He's worked real hard. I love seeing him go into that camp for his teammate. That's being a good teammate. That's being a good wingman. And I'm excited to get down there and watch a few games this year in Austin.
Hey man, again, we know that Peyton is going to be a little biased, so obviously what's coming out of his mouth is going to be a lot of positive things. But to say, look, in Beautifully Blessed made the good point about him playing his career. A lot of people, Grape Tea News is kind of talking about it. Hey, Arch needs to play out. Arch is willing to sit 2 years. Grape Tea News. I think y'all are all making really, really good points. And the point goes beyond just the things that y'all are saying, because are you right about NIL, Mr. Y High? Yeah, but I would say Drones from Virginia Tech. Look him up. Drones from Virginia Tech. He has the same quarterback coach. I forgot his first name. I think it's something Drones. He has the same quarterback coach as Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. He's got like this nasty sidearm. He's super mobile too. So Drones from Virginia Tech. He probably stayed. Carson Beck from Miami. He stayed. That would have been an easier name to bring up, but he stayed for NIL. For Arch Manning, again, I think it's something else. I think it's that last name. Actually, I mean, I know it's that last name. It's the same reason why Shedeur Sanders had no problem going from FCS or HBCU to Colorado, because, I mean, he's Sanders, so he could have gone anywhere and got the NIL money. It doesn't really matter what the collective gives him, because he don't need collective money. He can just get brand deals, or just tap his Hall of Fame dad on the shoulder and say, hey, Dad, can I get a car, please? Like, come on, man. So same thing with Arch Manning. I think the Manning family has a few dollars to their name. And then on top of that, let's just hypothetically say that, the NFL players aren't helping Arch Manning in any way money-wise, right? Let's say they're only helping him connection and resource-wise. Come on, dog. Why wouldn't I just take my time? Like, you gonna be all right. And I preach this so much when I talk about quarterbacks, because, over these last few months, I've talked a lot more about the NFL than I typically do, because obviously this is a college channel. We started as a college channel. Now we're going to talk about both in the season. We'll see how I navigate it, but do the best that I can. But the more I talk about NFL quarterbacks, because I think it's different, NFL and college. I mean, I think clearly it's different. Freshman, I want the freshman start right away. I don't even care if you're a freshman quarterback. It's a simplified system. Get your happy ass out there. Let's go. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? NFL, I do not believe that, right? So I believe that you need as much time as possible. So to say that, I would say that, hey, take as much time as possible at the collegiate level. I remember when Arch Manning came out and people were saying, oh, well, he's at this private school. He looks so small. He's going against bad, blah, 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 XYZ. All these things that they said about Arch Manning, right? He was going to be a bust. They were overhyping only because of his name. You fast forward 2 years later, and as much as people are saying, oh, Steve Sarkisian, the confidence of, or trusting Quinn, making sure, staying loyal, all that other stuff, I think it's even more apparent that you give Arch Manning time to grow, get into a system. Maybe Arch Manning was a little small. Maybe Arch Manning needed a little bit of a growth spurt, because this now going to be a junior Arch Manning who gets to go out there, knows not just the system, not just the play calling, and I guarantee, I've said this every Arch video, if you don't think that Steve Sarkisian every night before he went to sleep has been drawing up special plays for the Arch Manning regime, boy, you about to see so many fucking motions, boy. Hey, the CBS screen gonna explode. I promise you, boy. I can't guarantee we gonna beat Ohio State in the shoe, but we gonna have some motions. Arch Manning gonna go out in motion. I promise you. Steve Sarkisian's got some of the nastiest misdirection about to be cooked up you ever seen in your life, son. Okay? But I say all of that to say that no, I don't think he's going to go nowhere anytime soon. I think that time is not the essence, but time is the luxury that Arch Manning has. So he's going to wait the 2 years. Now he's going to start as a junior. Then I think he's going to start for 2 more years. He's not just going to pop out this year. Why would he? All of his other family members finished school. And again, it's not about money. Who's to say Arch don't enjoy being a Texas Longhorn? Who's to say in 2027 that, I don't know, let's say
hope it's not the Browns again. But what if it's the Browns again? You know what I'm saying? What if it's, I don't know, what's like the worst team? The Raiders. You feel me? Well, I mean, you be a Tom Brady. It's a little better. It's not bad. But let's imagine that they pull I don't know if you've heard of this, an Eli Manning. what if Arch Manning pulls an Eli Manning? And now with the NIL and now the fact that he sat for 2 years, he could play for 3 years. He's good. If I remember correct, because he hasn't used the eligibility, so he gonna be he chilling. So I think the more time the better. I only think it's gonna add to what Arch Manning is. But saying crazy things like this is not going to help. And what does Cam Newton feel about the Arch Manning play?
They went into the University of Texas with the understanding that they're trying to put Arch Manning in the best situation to be developed over time. It's not about playing. That's going to come. But who's going to develop this specific talent to be the best talent by the time he's eligible to go to the next level? A lot of these parents and a lot of these players get so jaded off of the fact that, hey, I'm trying to play early. No. Scratch that. Go somewhere that after 3 years, you could put yourself in a position to go to the league. That doesn't mean that I'm going somewhere where I could play early or start. Just because you're starting doesn't mean you're getting developed. I've always felt like I was more talented than Tim Tebow. But I needed Tim Tebow to show me what I lacked. Tim Tebow is an unbelievable leader, verbally and by actions. Arch would be a fool if he has not learned anything from Quinn Ewers, how he prepared, how he lead his team, and just how he handled and managed the expectations for being a quarterback at a university like Texas. The synonym for Heisman is hype. The player who has the most hype typically wins the Heisman. I don't think another quarterback has had this much hype at the University of Texas since the great Vince Young. You are
since
a
Vince, baby,
freaking
since Vince.
Fool if you don't think Cooper Manning, Archie Manning, Eli Manning, and Peyton Manning has any type of involvement with the decision-making of their nephew, their grandson, or their son. Because with a name like Manning, it holds a lot of weight in this football world.
You know, I've been harsh on Cam Newton. A lot of people have been harsh on Cam Newton about his takes. But, believe it or not, when he's talking about the quarterback position, I typically open my ears, right? I typically stay peeled and glued to his words because he typically knows what he's talking about. He's played with elite quarterbacks. He's gone through the trials and tribulations as a collegiate quarterback. So a collegiate and NFL quarterback. So, I think that he has a unique perspective on the situation. I think with a unique perspective, he can share the unique perspective uniquely. But not what we're focused on. What I do want to focus on is the other part of the waiting aspect that I didn't even touch upon, right? Cam speaks about the benefits of that. Well, I was talking about it from the NFL perspective, right? Like learning, sitting behind, growing, XYZ. Like, hey, how does Arch Manning do stuff? Arch Manning was not a big vocal guy, but you could tell like that was his team though. Like you could tell that it never felt like, oh, Arch Manning isn't leading, but it was very Marcus Mariota-y, right? Where it's like, hey, he's a clap guy. He's a, hey, we're here guy. He's a, whenever Arch Manning is operating, everybody's looking. Everybody's locked in. He's not over the top. He's not whatever, but Quinn is right here. Sorry, I said Arch, but Quinn's right here. Quinn's not over the top. Quinn's not going to yell too much. But he's also like a fun guy, right? He would joke around. Like that was his thing. He would joke with the receivers, XYZ. Arch already kind of has that relationship with the receivers. He does the whole little, that whole little celebrate, like that growth of, okay, I can get to my receivers like that. Like Peyton Manning alluded to. Oh, I'm gonna show up to Trey Wingo's youth camp that he's trying to put off. Boom. Like that adds a little bit to that. And then on top of that, like you said, like learning what those intricacies means. I think that the reason why I am so excited about Arch Manning, and it feels like, hey, it's whatever, it's like y'all better buckle up. It's Arch Manning. It's not because it's not about expectations for me with Arch. I'm gonna end it here. As a Texas fan, I am not excited about what Arch Manning could it be. I don't care. I don't care if he wins a Heisman. I don't care if he only throws for 2,000, 3,000, whatever. I am excited about his floor, and I am super excited about his floor. I think the floor for Arch Manning is someone who can take this offense and take it to heights we haven't seen. I think Arch Manning is the quarterback that Steve Sarkisian dreams about running his offense. The boots, the full rollouts, all the misdirection. He can go behind his back, all that. A little bit more mobile quarterback, because Quinn wasn't super immobile, and that's why he, probably Steve Sarkisian wanted him, because Quinn could wiggle a little bit. He could run a little bit, but obviously it almost felt like the ankle injury almost got worse, because then obviously last year he had no ankle. You could see he was walking in the sacks. It was ridiculous. But and that could be another question of why didn't he start? But I digress. What I will focus on is that I think that this is a match made in heaven, and I think that if you're in the SEC, you better buckle up, son, because I'm going to be really obnoxious if we win football games. But that's all I got for Arch Manning. The hype is going to be absurd. The hype train is only going to get crazier. So we'll see if the narratives change. They did this with Shedeur. They were talking about Shedeur as a top quarterback. So, hey, do they switch it on him? Do they say there's one bad game is all it takes? Is a phantom interview or anonymous quote? Probably not, because he's a Manning. They won't allow that to happen. But you let me know down below in the comments. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you rocking with me. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, and also fashions. Continue to be great. Like it if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Bell icons, all that fun stuff. Thank you so much. At peace. All right. All right, let me read some chat here, and then we're actually going to do an interesting video here. Why High says ESPN Allison hyped up Chris Sims the same way they were doing Arch Manning. I can't stand Chris Sims' creepy butt, Just a Girl says. Hey, I don't know what Chris Sims did to Just a Girl. Grape T News says, Vince Young, Quinn Ewers is literally one of the highest rated quarterback recruits in high school football history. Grape T, while that's a really good point. That's a really good point. I think that the point would be more so about the, I guess, production, because Quinn was always injured. He was either injured or he had lackluster seasons. So I get what you're saying. And when Quinn, as a Texas fan, when Quinn was at his best, it was really good. But I don't think it's the same way, just because of the injuries and all that he kind of came with, but he was dealing with. And it never looked, if you watch all of Quinn Ewers games, it really looked like every game he played injured. Like something was wrong. Very Anthony Davis, where it's like, is he all right? Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's interesting. Anyway, and Cam to flip floppy and just say anything for clicks. Cam do be say, hey, that again. That's why I gotta be careful about. I love. I will defend Cam Newton. I will push the football player Cam Newton. I'm gonna push that propaganda till I die, boy. But he be yapping. He do be yapping. Quinn Ewers' hype was insane. The Quinn Ewers' hype was insane. I think a lot of that has to do with the NIL thing, and because he was. That's crazy. I need to do a separate video on Quinn Ewers. When you think about, I'm not sure how many of y'all remember, Quinn Ewers is synonymous both with the NIL and with the new transfer portal, because two things happened. One, he wanted to get NIL money as soon as possible, so he couldn't do that in Texas. So he was one of the first early, I don't think one of the first, but one of the first to do it because of NIL, at least. Retire early to get paid. So you retire early to get paid at Ohio State. Now, technically, those NIL rules, like if you don't play a certain amount, you don't get the money. So that's a whole other thing. But that's not what we're talking about. So you retire, you go there. I just said retire early. You graduate early to go to Ohio State. After Ohio State, you see that the quarterback room classes only get more loaded. Right? Boom. Transfer from Ohio State over to Texas. So not only are you linked with the NIL, but linked with the transfer portal. That's interesting to think about. That's super interesting to think about. Oh, beautifully biased knows what's up. Yeah, it was close. You know what was, because I was crazy. I was thinking about this. Whenever Arch Manning had to go in for Quinn, was that the SEC championship? I forgot, was it the SEC championship or the first time he played Georgia? Regardless. And he went in for a few plays, and it just looked like he was seeing ghosts. There was a moment there when he was coming in that I was like, is this the time? And it just didn't seem to work out. And then obviously second half, you go back out. I was so confused about that, because I really thought, as bad as Quinn Ewers was playing, hey, at least for this game, second half, give it to Arch. Now, Quinn And that's another conversation about Quinn Ewers, and that's the problem with Quinn, and the reason why a lot of people don't have faith in him. He's a slow starter. Like he has to. You gotta start him up before he can get going. Because but he'll eventually start getting good. Because he started getting good at the end of that Georgia game. Like if you go look back at those Georgia games, he's not terrible. He makes like 2 or 3 just dumb decisions, which is just inexplicable. But other than that, like the balls are great. A lot of decisions are great. The places that he's putting them, he operates that system. I don't think as much as I think Arch Manning is going to excel in this offense, I don't think there's another quarterback that gets the timing of that Steve Sarkisian offense the way that Quinn Ewers does. It's watching him healthy, no injuries, everything's cool. It's here, boom, 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 dip, gunner helm, ba ba ba, zoom over the top. Like it's like he's just in the Matrix whenever it's like, and it's for as much as I talk about quarterback friendly systems, it's a combination of Steve Sarkisian creating a system in which there's a lot of misdirection, a lot of things, a lot of ways to create space for your wide receivers without them creating space, right? And that opens the door so much for their quarterbacks to just read 1, 2, 3. It's like almost San Francisco-esque, right? But when it's so interesting. Y'all got me yapping now, but it's so interesting because the 49er offense, known as very well run, if you're the top, right? If not the top, but the highest level of the 49er offense should be just hitting those things that what's it called? Hitting your spots in your times. That what's his name? 49ers head coach? Another offensive guy. Y'all know him. Not Cliff Kingsbury. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You should just be hitting those. You should just be hitting those every single time, right? You should be hitting that dig, hitting the drag, hitting it. It should be very much time. Boom, hit it. And you're looked at as a game manager in the NFL, and that's like a bad thing. If you do that at the collegiate football league or the collegiate football level, you're looked at as a savant quarterback and savant coach and an elite quarterback. That's how it's looked at. Instead of just saying, oh, this guy is just Brock Purdy is just benefiting so much off the offensive coordinator and the way the scheme is running. It's so quarterback friendly, and all you got to do is just be a game manager. But it's like when you look at the collegiate level, it's like that's exactly what you want to do. So if we're going by off that same metric, I don't know why that wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Cliff Kingsbury tried to do that as well, but it just didn't work out. Sean McVay, a mixture of it. I feel like he does a mixture and then makes it advanced for the NFL. So, Anyway, I'm yapping. I'm yapping too much. Quarterback ever. Yeah, he was. Yep. Achieving a perfect one. He was the first player at any position to earn since 2016. Okay. Only second quarterback ever to reach that mark alongside Vince Young. You feel me? Cam loved to show his legs too much. Oh, okay. Miss Pamela, I'm sorry that he shows his legs too much. Beautifully Blessed says, yep. And he said his feelings were hurt when they benched him. Yeah. I mean, I will, you know what I'll say? And y'all not going to like this because, again, I'm pro Cam Newton. Y'all might not like this. I appreciate Shanahan. Thank you. Texas running game hurt the team. What? Oh, you mean lack of running game? Because whenever we would run, nobody could stop us. If we implemented our run game the right way, nobody could stop us. But yeah, Shanahan. I cannot believe I couldn't think of Shanahan. We appreciate you, Y High. But what I'll respond to Y High is that we got into a lot of, I feel like it was so many like second and long, third and long situations where it's just like we kept putting the game on Quinn Ewers' arm, and I think he's the best when that doesn't happen. Now, I know 4th and 13 Arizona State. I'm not saying that he can't do it, but I felt like it almost felt like we were doing that in times when we didn't need to, right? I feel like in the Georgia game, I feel like why can't we go out and get like as a Texas team, I want our identity to be, I don't give a fuck that is Georgia. I don't give a fuck that is Georgia Tech. I don't give a Georgia Tech is a random one. I don't give a fuck that is Florida. I don't care that they're big and beefy in the trenches. We're going to come and establish the run. I love an offensive coordinator who says, fuck all that other. Hey, forget down and distance. Forget all. Hey, what we're gonna do is establish this, whether that's outside zone, whether that's inside run, whether it's counter, whether it's, hey, I want to hit these motherfuckers with trap, but the goal, forget it. The goal needs to be implementing this. So whether that means play action to come off of it, whether that means, we sit here, we fake this, and then we start getting into that back, whatever it is. But I love an offensive coordinator that says, hey, yo, today we're going to run the fucking ball, dog. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to win, but if I can run the ball, I can control this game. And there was a lot of times, for as much as I would get on here weekly and talk about Colorado's lack of run game and how they couldn't even, they had to score to win the game and they can't control the game. We were in that same way. Our offense is high powered. We can go up and down the field, but can we sustain the drive? Can we give our defense a break? Can we control the flow of the game? To High's point, I don't think we did a great job of it. I don't think we did a good job at it at all. But I really want to talk about college football 26 though. So can we sneak that in there? Can we sneak a little college football 26 in here? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sneak in a college football 26. One small little and then I'll go about my day. Y'all playing college football 26? Any of y'all play? Any of y'all watch my college football 25 videos, huh? Anybody? Okay, I want to see. Basically, I want to see if there's any extra. Boom. Okay, cool. So this is how we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. We're basically just gonna make this a quick little video. Pop in and pop out. College football 26 already has major problems. And no, I'm not talking about equipment, even though, hey, don't say that because that's going to be a sore spot within the community. If you've been watching my videos for a year now, you would know that I started this channel talking about college football 25. Although this channel has kind of grown into something that some people call a Sanders Glaze Fest and some people call a sad Texas fan's diary of yelling into a mic, I, at my core, am a college football account. More importantly, a college football game account. So today we're going to talk about college football 26's biggest problem, including equipment, even though that's not the big problem. I think the big problem has to be the disconnect between what a lot of these EA people are pushing, right? The Bordeaux's of the world, shout out to Bordeaux, Eric Mayweather, Papa Meeks, and these different guys, MMG, and what just the normal everyday person wants, right? So I'm not going to sit here and go Ryan Moody and talk about how EA is the worst company of all time, but I'm not about to Bordeaux you, and I'm not Bordeaux you to death. Because bored, you get bored, you don't get it. I'm not gonna Bordeaux you to death, and say how positive this game is, because for someone who played college football 25 and made videos about it and got bored about complaining about it, that had to stop and completely change. There's a lot of things wrong, and I think this video sums it up as the biggest problem with college football 25 that sadly might be in college football 26. Let's hear it.
To the niggas in the comments talking about, oh, y'all worry about accessories, y'all worry about this. Nigga, cause this is what the fuck I wanna play. I wanna play this shit. Y'all niggas ain't gonna do shit but exploit the game.
True.
And I definitely ain't playing that shit, cause I ain't giving EA a motherfucking dime.
True.
I wanna play Road to Glory. And it needs to be the same way that it was when I was fucking 6. What the hell is the issue, my nigga? What?
Facts. Now, I might not be as impassioned as this gentleman was, but I have to agree. I'm beautifully blessed, and my live stream says we're gonna call you football teams. I like that. I like football teams. We're gonna talk about everything football, but the reason why I agree with some of those things is because now that we have college football 26, we have found out that first off, high school is back, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna watch. We're not gonna. I don't think we can watch too much actual film because it's under embargo. So I don't think I can technically look at it, but we can look at some small snippets and stuff. But high school is back, ladies and gentlemen. High school football is back. Small clap. Beautiful, great stuff. But here's the issue. Here's the problem. You can't play the full game. Now, you can play moments, and I watched MMG do it. It honestly looked pretty fun. I got to be honest with you. For someone who, when I heard that it was just going to be moments in Road to Glory, and as someone whose biggest video on college football was about how awful Road to Glory was, and I've got updates on those opinions, I'm happy that they at least spent some time to do that. I'm not going to sit here and just say it's all negative. It's super cool that you can have high school. Super cool. Great touch here, which I think should have already been in there. But again, I'm not going to be mad at you for adding something that we like. You can import players or import team builder teams. The only thing I would want to do is to import a team builder team to play with Road to Glory. But at that point, it's kind of redundant because it's like you can just do that in Dynasty. Why not build your own team? Why be a made-up person on a made-up team in a made-up league? Like I get why it doesn't make sense, but I think it's super cool to do the high school level, even though because it adds so much more replayability. Because I think you can like toy with the the overalls and everything. So theoretically, you could do like a my high school, but I made all the wide receivers like buns, or I made everybody whatever, and you could add challenge. You can make a bunch of demons. You can make it, what I'm saying, like whatever it is. So I really have to. For someone who played these games offline, because that's how we grew up with games were just offline. I hate to age myself, but yeah, we played most of the time I've played in my life playing like football games was online by myself, building dynasties and players, or like the same controller, same TV getting destroyed by older people because they would always kill me. I was always playing with older people. They would always clown me, but not the point. So to see like, I think that's the disconnect, though. The disconnect that we talk about is that I think a lot of you young guys or younger than me, because I'm not old, I don't think. Am I? A lot of you younger guys grew up playing Ultimate Team head to head, like that was the thing. And I was like that too, because here's where I will give you anything like Call of Duty, anything with like first person shooter, those types of games, because I didn't start playing those until like I was in middle school. I can't play offline unless it's like a classic like Black Ops 1, dope story mode. Anyway, not the point. We're not here to talk about video games. We're here to talk about this video game. So that disconnect is there where like I know what y'all are looking for. Y'all want that instant online mode. It feels like, because online mode, the thing about it is like it's unlimited, right? You can get into 1,000 different scenarios, play against 1,000 different players. It's almost like infinite gameplay. So I understand wanting to make sure that is great. But at the same time, we came from an era where you don't need an internet connection. You just need power, and you can make this game as deep as you want it, as expansive as you want it. You can have custom uniforms, custom this, custom, like everything is whatever. And I spent less of my time playing this game, way more time making, remaking rosters. I had a roster with me and my brothers as like, the running back, wide receiver. Like I had all these different sets up and stuff like that. Like, so I in WWE games too, those were all the created belt. Oh my God, don't put me on a tangent. Please don't put me on a tangent. So I think that although he's yelling, although he's got a lot to say, the fact that I'm sitting here saying, yeah, we got high school, but like, why isn't it just, we have high school and it's like it was in NCAA 14. And oh, by the way, if you want to, you can do this moment thing or whatever. Hey, if you only want to play, because it's almost like we had that in NCAA 14, not the moment thing, but if you only want to play 2 games, play 2 games and then skip. You only want to play to the playoffs, do that. Do you only want to play the playoffs? Do that. But having this scenario where you only pick 5 drives, which I, again, as much as I was super skeptical of it, I think it does look fun. I do think it looks fun. I'm not just going to sit here and act like it doesn't make sense for them not to just add in what it was. Like, why is it so hard? It was the same thing that I complained about a year ago, where it's just like, all y'all had to do is look at NCAA 14 and use that as the base. Understand that people were going to expect that. Even like NCAA 14 wasn't that long ago. Like, most of the people who were playing this game, besides people it's their first game, they would probably have played NCAA 14. It's not like we're talking about NCAA 06, right? It's not like we're talking about Madden 2K5 or whatever they call, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, Soft Drink TV. He does it big. He always talks about NBA 2K, how that's like the model of, whatnot. It's not like we're talking about that, because at least with that I can say, or the excuse would be, 20 years ago, But we're talking about, at the time, barely 10. Barely 10. So that's my disconnect, where it's like, why are we not just, boom, what we did in 2013, 2011, 12, all that stuff, why don't we just start there? Why don't we start 10 years ago, and then let's just add stuff? That's all we wanted college football 24 to be. At least me. That's all I thought it was going to be. Hey, here's NCAA 14 with updated graphics, uniforms, teams. Everything that we could do, except I'm going to add a little of this, I'm going to add a little of that. And hey, we can't have ESPN because of ratings deal. We can't have these trophies because of certain deals. Hey, I get it. Different world. We're trying to do that. Cool. But there is no excuse for not having high school first year. There is no excuse for not having some of these customization. There is no excuse for not having Team Builder in Road to Glory. Like, talk about something that you could have just, hey, this thing that's amazing, just add one thing. You could have just kept Road to Glory the same, and then for NCAA college football 24, just add Team Builder. Boom, that's it. Boom. That's gonna go 10 times platinum. Now, it doesn't matter, because college football 25 already went 10 times platinum. They're already announcing college football, or college basketball rather, coming out in 2026 or 2028. 2026. So there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. But more importantly, there's a lot going on today, as some of the first gameplay has been released of college football. And now Bordeaux was the first to play Ryan Williams and do his own little thing, because he's locked in, and we're going to get to some of his stuff as well. Not too much, because there is a gameplay embargo, so we can't watch a lot. We're just going to get into some TikToks and get to some things that people are saying on Twitter. But I think that it's important to kind of, and actually we'll go right there, because I don't want to show this, because this is going to be a part of the embargo. So I don't want that to be a problem. So we're going to get right into it, and basically we're going to review the reaction from these first pieces of gameplay coming out. So we I believe this is shading. Yeah, so this is, I believe, committing. Yeah, so I believe this is a route committing, but let's update this. Let's update this and actually go top and trending, and we're gonna check out what people are saying. Here's a little again, I can't play it in full because of the embargo, so y'all live with me, but this is coming out for high school. I thought this looked fresh. MMG, go check him out. I think he did a good job there. You can apparently you can now manually reach the ball out to get the extra yard, which I think is pretty cool. He explains how in the video. We can't watch too much of this, because I don't even know if this is gonna get me clapped up. They be I remember, because last year when there was early gameplay, dog, there was like, what you did made no sense. It's like, dog, it's out. It's out here, dog. So we're gonna be very slow. We're gonna be very slow about this. But apparently you can manually reach out. And something else I saw that was super cool, and I don't know if this was in last, but it seemed like it wasn't in last from the way that people were saying it, is that whenever you QB slide, you can also reach. So like instead of, I feel like sometimes you would slide and it would give you the first down from your feet, and it's just like, well, that's not how that works. It stops whenever you start sliding. They changed it so you can do like a dive slide. And sometimes I was like, that is kind of what I want to do. I don't want to, I'm saying full Superman, but if I could just kind of slip, if I get a little extra yard when I slide, that would be pretty great. So I think that's dope to see as well. I just wanted to see some stuff, a different change there. Oh yeah, top fives as well. Y'all got any problems with these top fives? Jeremiah Smith, obviously. Ryan Williams, obviously. Jordan Tyson is a problem. Elijah Sarrett from from Indiana. And Eric Rivers, Georgia Tech, is number 5. Interesting that Nick Singleton, the former Georgia Tech player, is not in the top 5, but okay, I'm sure he's not too far back. Jeremiah Love at number 1 for Notre Dame. Nicholas Singleton from Penn State. Isaac Brown, Jonah Coleman, and Mekhi Hughes. And then corners, you got Gerard McCoy, Leonard Moore, Chandler Rivers, Avion Terrell, Malik Muhammad at the University of Texas. And then safeties, Caleb Downs, Dylan Thiemann out of Purdue, Rod Moore, Bud Clark, and I know he signed with Oregon, but he transferred from Purdue. And then Terry Moore out of Duke. What else we got? So these are all the things that came out. So you got a Dynasty exclusive, Road to Glory exclusive, all that fun stuff. And since it's 8 while I'm recording this, we probably have some new stuff right here. Oh man, okay, I can't get away from the video, man. I can't get away from the video. Let's watch it. Then let's watch this video.
About people like you, Bordeaux. Because you're playing the game, and instead of talking about this lineman changing his mind to go upfield, this is a touchdown. He comes back and bumps into him, and that's a tackle. And instead of talking about that shit, Bordeaux, you want to continue to talk about the subs.
Look, man, Bordeaux got into he got into some interesting waters, I'll say, with some people, right? And I think in some ways he was right, but in some ways, he's clearly not bought and paid for, but he's clearly has some inside experience that understands the reason why he gives EA so much grace. But for someone who's been playing these games for as long as I've been playing them, like, I have no patience for EA. Like, I don't know how y'all have patience for EA. There has not been a game as good as Madden 11. And this is not on some like, oh, nostalgia or whatever. No, I'm talking about features. I'm talking about the amount of things that you can do. Has not been a game since Madden 11 that's been good. Of that level of you can do everything. I remember I was so confused when I got Madden 12. I was like, why are we missing? I feel like in Madden 11 they started taking things out and kind of because they were going the whole cinematic thing, and I feel like I was missing things. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Let's check it out. See what else they got going on here. So Dynasty looks great. Just don't turn the penalty for manual XP, or else you can get max attributes. If there is any new equipment and the game comes out, these who has hating on people who wanted it to be better, not use it. Bordeaux broke the game already. Oh God, I don't know what he do. All that fraud equipment guru does is lie. Ain't no long list of new equipment in the game. Oh, they're really mad about the equipment. Let's see. Only new equipment I've seen so far is nuclear. They are really mad about the equipment. I promise you, I'm not that mad about the equipment. Even though I do want to end this equipment debate, and if it goes any further, we can go, because I hate that. I'm gonna call him out Fendler on Twitter and on whatever. And we've had this conversation on Twitter, so I'm not calling you out to say something that I haven't already said to you on Twitter. And it's that, hey, why is it such a big deal to want more equipment in a simulation game, in a game that they can't even get blocking right? So for all y'all people who be like, oh, but we need to focus on gameplay. EA is not focused on gameplay. They've been showing you that. I've been playing College Football 25. I'm gonna have a rant video. I'm trying to stay kind of positive. We're gonna talk about 26, but I'm about to have a final review for College Football 25 to come out. Dog, that game's kind of terrible. Like it's super fun because it's college football, but like the responsiveness, there's just so many core things of a game that don't work. Forget gameplay and simulation. The core competencies of the game don't work. So much so that in Road to Glory, they completely changed it. Y'all remember when you couldn't audible at all? They just took that out the game and they didn't know how to implement it. So they just decided to give everybody a bunch of audibles and broke the game. It doesn't even work right. So when people say, hey, can we get an extra arm sleeve? For the love of God, I think that is something that y'all are capable of, because y'all aren't capable of making a gameplay that's consistent in any way. But let's continue on. Let's see what else they're calling out. Let's see what else they're calling. If you buy 26 standard edition and buy the deluxe to get the 3 days early, will it charge a full $300 or just, I don't know what he's talking about. what I do like the moments or whatever is actually not that bad, but I would still prefer to play the whole game. Hey, there you go. Is there anything else in particular? Blitzes will look different. What do you mean blitzes will look different? Oh, because they cooked them? Yeah, they did cook them there. Okay, so I don't think there's anything too crazy. Again, that I can show. I really wanted to just see people's comments, see how people were kind of reacting. Yeah, I do have to say that. I really do have to say that. He says I'm not a fan of the moments. I think the moments thing is going to be the most like polarizing thing. I'm going to have to go on a limb and say I like the moments from what I've seen it, and I'm going to have to play it. But I was very like high school was one of my favorite parts of playing Rodeo. I know that might not seem right because it gets so easy after a while, but it's because it's such a different part of the game. Like it adds to my replayability. Like, oh, kind of like this sandbox where you feel it. And I really like the transition of getting really good in high school and you're like, oh my God, this is so easy. And then you get to college and you're like, oh my God, I'm awful. Like I like that. Like, like, no, you ain't that fresh, son. So I really hope that they like capture that, because that was one of my favorite things about NCAA 14 Road to Glory is that you could be the top tier, 8 trillion yards. I'm the dude. I'm about to start at Alabama. But when you get to Alabama, you're going to feel it. You know what I'm saying? You going to get it. But yeah, man, if y'all want more college football 26 videos or game videos, I'll probably play the game on stream just to kill some time. If I'm not yapping, I'll just stream the game, have something to do in between, so that'd be cool. But if not, man, if you liked the video, go ahead and like it. If you didn't, dislike it. Subscribe if you like football content of all types, because we're doing the game, we're talking about it, we're doing everything else in between. But you continue to be great, continue to be phenomenal, and we'll see you next time. Hit the bell icon, hit the bell icon to not miss anything else. Peace. All right. I think this was a successful stream. It seems that my chat has done what the chat be doing. They're keeping on track, staying on top, being the biggest and the illest, and also the realest. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not bald. I do gotta get my haircut though. My hairline messed up though. I am without haircut, but I am not bald. By the way, people be thinking I'm bald. I actually do like just like rocking my hats. But yeah, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Again, won't be streaming for a while. Probably after tomorrow. Is tomorrow Wednesday? Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Today's Wednesday. Oh no. Oh no. All right, well, we got our work cut out for us, boys. Tomorrow, if I do stream, will be the last. If not today, will probably the last stream. That's crazy. About to go on vacay, about to do a bunch of fun stuff, but really appreciate y'all rocking with me. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy